Today's objective, students will be able to find the area and perimeter of regular polygons. So we've got a few more area and perimeter lessons going through this week before you start with the area and perimeter challenge. So regular polygon, first things first. We haven't really talked about that this year. A polygon that is equiangular and equilateral, meaning all the angles inside are the same, all the side lengths on the outside are the same. So kind of like an equilateral triangle, but we're talking any type of polygon, so any number of sides. So we've got two formulas for that case. You can pick and choose which one you want to do depending on what information you're given in the problem. So first formula, area equals 1/2 times apothem. That's a new word for us, so we'll talk about that in a second, times the perimeter of the shape. Or you could use area equals 1/2 times apothem times side length times the number of sides. So the thing to notice here is that perimeter is the same as SN, as side length times number of sides. Since all the side lengths are going to be the same, if you're just taking those side lengths and multiplying by the number of sides, that gives you the perimeter. So that's why these two formulas work hand in hand. So you can choose which one to use. So our apothem, it's basically like a radius of a regular polygon. It always starts in the center of one of the sides, so at the midpoint of one of the sides, it's perpendicular to that side, and it goes to the center of, if we were to draw a circle around this polygon, circumscribed around it, so it was touching all of these vertices, then it would be the center of that circle. But that's essentially what you're looking for with the apothem. So just make sure, because some diagrams you'll see this type of line drawn in as well. That's not the apothem because it's not, one, it's not perpendicular to a side, and it's not starting at the midpoint of one of the sides. So make sure it's always at that midpoint when you're looking for that apothem. So let's look at a couple examples. Example number one, we're trying to find, so notice big A and little a, kind of like our laws that we did before break. So our big A is standing for our area, little a is standing for apothem in this case. So our area is going to equal 1/2 times the apothem of 24.9 times the side length of 24. So since we are given S, I'm going to use that formula 1/2 ASN times the number of sides. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides. Times 7, just plug that into your calculator. Comes out to 2,091.6 centimeters squared, because we're finding area. Number two, we are working backwards now. I'm actually going to erase so you can go back in the video if you didn't get that all written down. So that I have a little more space to work with here. I know sometimes my face in the corner gets in the way of the writing. So let's look at example 2. All right. So this time we're given the area, so we're working backwards. So we've got 19,887.5 equals 1/2 times the apothem, which we're trying to find, times the side length we're given, times the number of sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first off, we just want to simplify that multiplication that's on the the right side of our equation. So 1/2 times 107.5 times 5 gives us 268.75 times the apothem, and then just a one-step equation from there to get the apothem alone. So you're going to have some word problems on the back that are like this problem where you're working backwards. Just pick out which formula you're given. If you're given side length, use 1/2 ASN. If you're given perimeter, use 1/2 AP. Plug into your formula and then just use your algebra to work backwards. When we do that division, our apothem comes out to, we don't need about there, it's exact. Apothem equals 74 centimeters. I'll do one more video for another problem on the bottom there, and then I'll talk about homework.